Hi everyone, this is an introduction to cell respiration and the mitochondria, the assignment that goes along with the yeast lab. You can do the yeast lab before this, stop at the conclusion, and then do this and go back, or you can do all of this and then do the yeast lab. It's up to you. Introduction. We just learned about photosynthesis, which is a process that plants use to make glucose and oxygen. We know that photosynthesis happens in the chloroplast. Now we're going to learn about a new process called cell respiration. Cell respiration happens in a structure called the mitochondria. This is inside of a cell. All organisms, both plants or autotrophs and animals or heterotrophs, use cell respiration to make energy. Troph means energy. Auto means self. Hetero means different. So autotrophs make food for energy, troph, by itself, while heterotrophs, like you and I, need to eat different foods to get energy, troph. This assignment has 5 parts. We're going to preview each section. There's a table of contents, so if you want to get right to one of the sections, you can click and go right to one of the sections. Okay? The first section is something a little bit different, what we're calling context evidence analysis. This should sound similar because you should have done this in English class. You're going to use the resources below. They are in red, resources below, and only these resources, please do not Google anything, to research one fact about the mitochondria or cell respiration. You may use the readings or the videos. You're going to do the following. Context. What does the reader need to know before reading your fact? Explain a little so the reader is ready for the fact. Evidence. Copy the one fact exactly as it appears either in writing or as you hear it, placing quotes around all of the words. Analysis. Analyze the fact and explain what it means in your own words, and then cite or indicate the source. I'm going to show you an example. The context of this is mitochondria are important organelles. They are in both plant and animal cells, and without them we would not have energy to do anything. They are oval-shaped and very small. My evidence. Mitochondria are generally oblong organelles. They range in size between 1 and 10 micrometers and occur in numbers that directly correlate with the cell's level of metabolic activity. Analysis. Although these organelles are quite small, they have a very important job in cells. The more energy that is required from a specific cell, the more mitochondria there are. So a muscle cell has lots of mitochondria compared to a skin cell because muscles need lots more energy than skin cells. And this is my source. You can also use the icon and make it look like that. It looks a lot nicer. The icon is located right here, and you just insert a link, and it tells you what the text is and what the link is. That's how you do that. So you're going to do that here. You're going to put context, evidence in a quote, and analysis. You're going to use, and then you're going to put the citation here. You're going to use these resources. So you can do a beginner reading, a beginner video, intermediate, or advanced. Please do not use the first sentence of a paragraph. Lots of students love to use the first sentence of a paragraph, and we don't like that. So please read into the text or listen into the text and not use just the first sentence. Okay, part 2, diagram. By now you guys should be experts at these diagrams. You're going to edit this diagram, you're going to make it make sense for you, and one thing we should probably mention about these diagrams is if you don't like to use these arrows and you'd rather use a text box, you can pop a text box in there and just write. That's perfectly okay. You can delete the arrows. You need to make it make sense for you. I strongly suggest that you leave the pictures there because they're really helpful, and of course the picture of the animal cell here. You're going to click save and be done with that. Questions. 3 short little questions. Autotrophs make glucose. Heterotrophs cannot make glucose. How do we get glucose? How do we get oxygen? And what do you think would happen if animal cells did not have a mitochondria? Rewind and relate. Remember, we're going to rewind and go back to the last assignment, relate it to what we're doing right now. Describe the relationship between the mitochondria and the chloroplast. Go back to your photosynthesis document. Go back. Open the photosynthesis document and look at it. Describe the relationship between photosynthesis and cell respiration in plant cells. Go back to the photosynthesis document. Identify the process and explain how oxygen moves from the environment where there's lots of oxygen to inside of our cells of both plant and animal cells. Go back, go back, go back. The last section is familiar vocabulary. You're going to select at least 5 of the familiar vocabulary words listed below and craft at least 3 to 4 sentences that demonstrate understanding of these words. How will you be assessed, or what grade do you want for this section? There are 16 words below. If you use all of them properly, you'll have advanced. Proficient is 12, developing is 9, near developing is 7, and the barest of minimum, a novice, is 5. So again, at least 5 will get you a novice. You're going to write your sentences right here. We left you a little bit of space, and here is the familiar vocabulary. Organelles, or structures that are within a cell. Cell wall, cell membrane, mitochondria, chloroplast. Processes, things that happen. Photosynthesis happens, cell respiration, osmosis, and diffusion. Molecules, non-living things, glucose, starch, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. And 2 other words, heterotroph and autotroph. Here's a mind map that shows the relationship between these words. I'm not sure how helpful it is. Maybe you could let us know. Okay, that is the module. This should take you 2 long blocks, or maybe a little longer. Okay, let us know if you have any questions. Bye.